Good morning and welcome back to Keto Living with Dale and Judith. Today's video is Dale's full day of low-carb eating with keto foods. We're going to start with breakfast. I'm going to make him bacon, egg, and cheese quesadilla using our own homemade keto tortilla. Right here. Nice and flexible. It's like a flour tortilla. 4.9 grams of net carbs each. I'm going to cook it with 2 scrambled eggs, cooked in half of a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to use 1 ounce of Monterey Jack cheese. It has less net carbs than cheddar. And 2 slices of uncured, no sugar bacon, already cooked and ground up in a food processor. Let me show you. Let me get it open. I keep it ready to go in the freezer. Then we're going to grill it until the cheese melts. And we'll use the other half of that butter pat for each side of the tortilla. It's not breakfast time yet, so let me explain how I make sure Dale stays on track with his diet. I plan his meals at a minimum the night before. I really like to enter a week's worth of food in the Carb Manager app. And I like to have a set menu so I don't have to make all these last-minute decisions. Then every morning I gather the day's ingredients. So for lunch, he is going to have a ham and cheese quesadilla. I've already gathered the ingredients for those. Here they are. Now I'll put this in the fridge until it's time to cook it for lunch. And for dinner, I've already gathered the ingredients too. For dinner, he is going to have a beef quesadilla. And I'm going to have that with cheese sauce, cheese dip, but I'm out, so I'll have to cook some more of that this morning. Taco meat is ready to go in our freezer. Salad for the week is ready to go in the fridge. And all this will go back in the fridge until lunch. I typically don't pre-measure the cheese in advance. I'll do that the day of, the morning of. Because the amount of cheese he has varies by how many calories he has left. I just realized that I forgot to add the chips and 1 chocolate square to lunch. So I ran and got some. For afternoon snack, Dale is going to have 2 keto almond flour tortillas, and he's going to fry those himself, and he's going to eat it with cheese dip. So he's going to have half a serving of cheese dip for dinner and half a serving of cheese dip for snack. And because I prepped this morning, I realized I was out of tortillas. So let's run to the freezer and get another package. Now let's cook Dale's breakfast. 2 eggs is 1.1 grams of net carbs. And we're going to scramble that in half a tablespoon of butter. Now you might wonder, if 1 egg is 0.6, why is 2 eggs 1.1? It's because sometimes Carb Manager, when they figure out to a farther out decimal point, when you multiply how many servings you're going to use. So suppose 1 egg is 0.59, then they'll know that, even though 1 egg's been rounded up to 0.6. So sometimes when you add all the net carbs together, they're off a couple of points. I have the tortilla recipe video and the recipe links in the description. And we're going to put 1/4 of a tablespoon of butter on one side. This is 4.9 grams of net carbs for one tortilla. And we're using our 1 ounce of Monterey Jack cheese, 0.3 grams of net carbs. Remember, each cheese has its own net carb value. It's not a zero food. The bacon doesn't have any carbs in it. And the second tortilla has 4.9 grams of net carbs. And we're putting the rest of the butter on it. And we're going to grill it. Altogether, the quesadilla has 11.1 grams of net carbs. But if you want lower carb count, just eat half of it. Or cut it into 4, so eat 1 and freeze the rest. Half is 5.6 grams of net carbs, and 1/4, each triangle, because we're going to make triangles, is 2.8 grams of net carbs. I decided to add 2 tablespoons of salsa. That's going to add 2 grams of net carbs, meaning breakfast is 11.3 grams of net carbs altogether. Time to cook Dale's lunch. And it's the same as breakfast, a quesadilla made with 4.9 gram net carb tortillas. I'm going to use 2. We're going to use half a tablespoon of butter for each tortilla. It's really soft. 1 ounce of no sugar uncured ham. This is what I'm using. It's hard to find no sugar uncured ham. Dale's not a big thick meat guy, but you can add more meat to this if you want, because there are no carbs in the ham. And 1 ounce of Monterey Jack cheese again, 0.3 grams of net carbs. This is 1 ounce, 0.3 grams of net carbs. Sometimes cheese says 0 carbs, because if the serving size is below 0.5 net carbs, they can put down 0. They can round down. So follow like the Carb Manager app and look for the common food value and count that. So 0.3 grams of net carbs. I'm going to serve it with 2 tablespoons of salsa. This is what we're using. And check the label. Check the carb count. Carbs minus fiber. So 2 grams of net carbs. And check the ingredients for sugar, dextrose, syrups, corn syrup, honey, corn, fruit, beans. You don't want any of that in your salsa. You just want tomatoes, onions, spices, peppers, vinegar. Many salsas add sugar. So 2 tablespoons, 2 grams of net carbs. 2 grams of net carbs. And 1 mini holy guacamole. 2 grams of net carbs. 1 serving of chips, 8 keto chips. Joe normally has a double serving, but for this, he's just going to have 1 serving. Made from our favorite keto tortilla, the same as what he's going to have for snack tonight. So 4 grams of net carbs, because 1 serving's made from 1 tortilla. And you see it's already thawed. So I've taken 2 out and put them in his snack container. And keep these in the fridge. They'll spoil quickly. They'll mold because they don't have any preservatives in them. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and get it started. Oh, I knew I forgot something. 1 keto chocolate square. Yep, it's right side up. 1 gram of net carbs. Making lunch altogether, 18 grams of net carbs. The quesadilla itself is 10 grams of net carbs. If you want less carbs, eat half for 5 grams of net carbs. Even less, 1/4 for 2.5 grams of net carbs. So lunch altogether is 18 grams of net carbs. Time to cook Dale's dinner. Beef quesadillas. 11.6 grams of net carbs for the whole thing. I'm going to use 1/4 cup of cheese dip, 1.1 grams of net carbs, and 1 keto salad, 1.9 grams of net carbs. Altogether, that makes dinner 14.6 grams of net carbs, meaning for the whole day, Dale will have eaten, let me check, 55.8 grams of net carbs. This is a good example about why we count calories. Most days, Dale eats 60 net carbs, sometimes 63. So today, he would still have 5 to 7 net carbs left. Suppose I gave him 5 grams of net carbs worth of cheese extra. That means I would have added 500 extra calories onto his day. And that wouldn't be good for Dale. That would cause him to gain weight. And that's Dale's full day of eating. Remember, he's going to cook his own snack. 1/4 cup of cheese dip, 1.1 grams of net carbs, and his tortillas over here. 2 of them. 4 grams of net carbs each, making them 8 grams of net carbs. Thank you for visiting Keto Living with Dale and Judith. See you later. Bye-bye.